Security expert Mike Benz said that the U.S. State Department was actually the ones behind the arrest of the Telegram CEO in France. We're uncovering this international push to censor free speech here on Beyond the Headlines, only on Vigilant News. This segment is sponsored by Field of Greens, helping you get your daily vegetable and fruit intake at BrickHouseVNN.com. I'm Elijah Schaefer. Let's start the show. Well, free speech is under attack all around the world, from France, Germany, the United Kingdom jailing people for social media posts, Brazil trying to kick X, formerly known as Twitter, out for not censoring private citizens. And now we find out the United States worked with Mark Zuckerberg and the French government authorities to not only censor ideas, but to arrest the CEO of a major tech platform. Check this out. Vigilant News reports the U.S. State Department behind arrest of a Telegram CEO. He believes the U.S. wants to turn Telegram into WhatsApp so that it can be controlled and used to determine elections. He goes on to say that the U.S. State Department is responsible for the arrest of Telegram CEO Pavel Durov in France, according to Mike Benz. Benz released a 5-minute video on Twitter on Saturday detailing why he believes the U.S. State Department played a hand in the arrest of Durov. He believes the State Department wants to exert pressure on Telegram, not in order to destroy the platform, but to bend it to their will and control it. Benz notes how Telegram has been used in U.S.-backed color revolutions, including Belarus and Russia. Telegram played a major role in the State Department's fomenting of the color revolution in Belarus, he said. But don't listen to me. This is a very important clip. It's a bit lengthy, but it's better to watch. Listen.
Hey, I'm here in the airport in Austin, and was just on this space with Mario and Andrew Tate and Kim.com and a bunch of people, but want to make a point, but I think they booted me before I could say anything, so I'm just going to make it here. On the news of Pavel's arrest, the founder of Telegram, this is something that I see going up to the U.S. State Department. Wow, surprise, surprise, that's my take, but that's what it is. And, one of the things they're talking about in the space right now is what can be done. And the fact is the House Foreign Affairs Committee could subpoena or could demand as part of its oversight all communications between the U.S. Embassy in Paris, that is the State Department's branch in France, for their communications with prosecutors or government officials about Pavel's arrest prior to the arrest. Because I believe the State Department is, at the very least, if not outright participating in this political prosecution. The State Department has been going after Telegram. Now, they don't want to shut Telegram down. Let me explain this. Telegram is a double-edged sword for the State Department. Telegram played a major role in the State Department's fomenting of the color revolution in Belarus in the summer of 2020. The National Endowment for Democracy, the U.S. State Department, and USAID were all funding the major organizers of the street riots in Belarus and using Telegram as the main channel to organize those street riots, because Telegram has such ubiquitous use in Eastern Europe, also in Russia, also in Ukraine. So they loved Telegram as a way to organize renter riots to destabilize Lukashenko's government. And I bet that they would do the same if they didn't. I'm not aware of it just because I haven't looked into it. But I bet that when Alexei Navalny was deployed against Russia from his right-wing flank in organizing peaceful protests in Russia, I bet Telegram was used by the State Department as the coordination then, because I know that it was in Belarus. Now, on the other hand, the State Department pressured actually AstroTurf with tens of millions of dollars, the government of Brazil, to bring Telegram to its knees. Brazil passed a ban, actually made it a crime to access Telegram for several weeks in 2022 until Telegram agreed to the new counter-misinformation laws that were lobbied for by the U.S. State Department's NGO Soft Powers Forum. So what they want to do is not kill Telegram like they wanted to kill WikiLeaks. They want to control it. And the problem is they didn't have the ability to put sufficient pressure on Pavel to break his will. So he's living in Dubai.
That's exactly what it looks like.
And now they have leverage. And I believe that's the purpose of this prosecution, not to establish a legal precedent that it is, that every encrypted account, every encrypted chat app, its founder is personally responsible for all, illegal conversations or transactions on the platform, but rather to force Telegram to become WhatsApp. This is what they did to WhatsApp, by the way, through this regulatory pressure. WhatsApp is owned by Facebook. They broke WhatsApp's back. And now this is why I always say, don't say anything on WhatsApp that you don't want put on a Times Square Jumbotron, because the whole thing is Fed fucking central. They broke it. And I watched that happen, by the way. The Atlanta Council played a huge role in that, with 7 CIA directors on its board and annual funding from the Pentagon, the State Department, and CIA cutouts like the NED. Sorry, I'm just in the airport, so I'm looking around. They didn't want to shut down WhatsApp. WhatsApp is used by everybody in Latin America and South America and half in India. They want to control it, to be able to have their own personnel in place to install and oversee the policies in every country on earth in order to shape the political outcomes from the inside of every country on earth to determine their elections. This is what they did to WhatsApp and Telegram in Brazil. And when I say they, I don't mean the government of Brazil. I mean the U.S. State Department, the U.S. Embassy, the U.S.-funded institutions like the Atlanta Council, the Wilson Center, there's a million of them, the National Democratic Institute, the International Republican Institute, the NED. Thousands of these, at least hundreds that I've documented, were all capacity built. And then, there's a whole government program, SEPs, which you're going to be learning a lot more about in the months ahead. The $150 annual budget, and $40 million of it was in Brazil to lobby for these censorship laws. I believe that they thought that they needed leverage against Telegram to finally be able to bring it under their control. And remember, this is very important in the State Department and the Pentagon's view for winning the war against Russia via Ukraine, because all the Russians use Telegram chats.
And it's coincidental this is also happening during an American election year, and the U.S. is using foreign countries to violate our own laws, because obviously the sovereignty is only on our borders. And that's pretty scary when you think about it. Now, I want to remind you guys in the midst of all of this that you got to take care of your health, right? There's over 2 million new cases of cancer just this year, a new record. But why? Well, the American Cancer Society says to lower your cancer risk, you need to look at what you eat. You may hear this and radically change your diet, because if not, that's why doctors created Field of Greens. Are there cancer-fighting foods? The answer is yes. Researchers found diets rich in fruits and veggies may help prevent cancer. You may hear this and radically change your diet, or you may not. But if not, there's Field of Greens. Each fruit and veggie in Field of Greens was doctor selected for studied health benefits. There's a heart health group, lungs, kidneys, and metabolism groups, even healthy weight. Will Field of Greens treat, prevent, or cure cancer? No, it's not what we're saying. But it's so powerful, it promises your doctor will notice your improved health or your money back, and it contains the fruits and veggies that doctors recommend to try to prevent cancer. Now, I got you 15% off your first order plus free rush shipping at brickhousevnn.com. That's BRICKHOUSEVNN.com. Use my promo code VNN, that's VNN, at brickhousevnn.com to get 15% off plus free rush shipping. The link's in the description. Now, I want to mention that the CEO of Telegram was on Tucker Carlson, and here's what he had to say a while back about his app.
We get too much attention from the FBI, the security agencies, wherever we came to the US. So to give you an example, last time I was in the US, I brought an engineer that is working for Telegram, and there was an attempt to secretly hire my engineer behind my back by cybersecurity officers or agents, whatever they are called.
The U.S. government should hire your engineer?
That's my understanding. That's what he told me.
To write code for them or to break into Telegram?
They were curious to learn which open source libraries are integrated to the Telegram's app, on the client side, and they were trying to persuade him to use certain open source tools that he would then integrate into the Telegram's code that, in my understanding, would serve as backdoors.
Would allow the U.S. government to spy on people who use Telegram.
The U.S. government, or maybe any other government, because a backdoor is a backdoor regardless of who is using it.
That's right.
And
that's a little surprising to hear. Maybe it's not surprising. It's offensive. You're confident that happened?
Yes. There is no reason for my engineer to make up the stories. Also because I personally experienced similar pressure in the US. Whenever I would go to the US, I would have two FBI agents greeting me at the airport, asking questions. One time I was having my breakfast at like 9 a.m. and the FBI showed up at my house that I was renting. And that was quite surprising. And I thought, we're getting too much attention here. It's probably not the best environment to run.
Why would had you committed a crime?
No, they were interested to learn more about Telegram. They knew I, left Russia. They knew what we were doing, but they wanted details. And my understanding is that they wanted to establish a relationship to, in a way, control Telegram better. I understand that they were doing their job. It's just that for us running a privacy-focused social media platform, that probably wasn't the best environment to be in. We want to be focused on what we do, not on government relations of that sort.
Government relations.
It's absolutely heartbreaking how bad things have gone online in the fight for censorship. Now, if you want to help us fight the mainstream media, as this show is censored often, make sure that you sign up for our newsletter at vigilantnews.com. And if you want more of these videos every day, drop a like, leave your feedback in the comments, and also subscribe to our Rumble and our X accounts at Vigilant News. My name is Elijah Schaefer. Thank you for watching Beyond the Headlines. Have a great rest of the week, and may God bless the United States of America. I'm signing out.